Hello, hello. Welcome to our fourth and final IG Live convo for Women's Herstory Month, where we are celebrating amazing women doing amazing things within their industry, making an impact on those around them as well as the world. These IG Live convos allow us to have candid conversations with these amazing women as they tell us the inner workings of their brands, mission, their experiences, any setbacks, as well as their experience with emotional intelligence. Today, we have the opportunity to be sitting down and having a conversation with Miss Nicola Mitchell, who is the founder of Girls Who Branch. She is an author, she is a publisher, she is a publishing expert, she is also a change agent and a founder. Her organization, Girls Who Branch, empowers, inspires, and also uplifts girls in underserved areas through these jam-packed, energetic workshops and events that she actually holds with different panelists who speak on different topics and different subjects. So her unique events are very cool, they're very fun, they're very energetic, and she is definitely an inspiring woman to watch. And today we are going to tap in with her as she tells us a little bit more about her brand and what has made her so successful today. So I am going to go ahead and invite her to join in.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Peace, Queen. Peace. I'm good.
Yes. Thank you so much for making time for our viewers today and shedding light, inspiring light on all the great work that you have done. Like I said, you wear so many hats, and I've always admired everything that you are doing in your organization. So thank you so much for tuning in with us today.
Thank you for having me, beautiful. So,
No, of
all
course.
yours.
No, thank you. So first, I want you to tell us about your amazing mission and brand.
Okay, so I am the founder of Girls Who Brunch Tour. Girls Who Brunch, we take girls ages 9 through 17 and we give them a girls empowerment conference. As of date, we service 24,000 girls. We're in 21 cities. In every city, we sponsor 50 to 100 girls who are rescued from the sex trade, girls who are in group homes, girls who are in foster care. And we put them with girls from a normal circumstance and just let them have fun, party with the DJs, panel discussion, workshops, and subliminally teach them at the same time. And because of COVID, we had to move on to the virtual platform, but that tripled our numbers. So at the end of 2019, we were at 8,000 and a change, right? And because of COVID, we were able to quadruple to 24,000 from our online. We had takeovers where we had different people doing workshops and panels and like STEM training and things like that, plus our regular tour. But the only hi baby the only issue that I had with that is the girls from those underserved populations were not able to participate. So this year we're going to be on ground in some cities. So Indianapolis, we are confirmed to be on ground. Chicago, we're confirmed to be on ground. Houston, we're confirmed to be on ground. And then I'm also going to be going to like group homes and facilities because some of these girls have been under 23-hour lockdowns since COVID started.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. And I think it's such a unique approach how you're so mobile with the movement. So how did did you start out with the mobility, or how did that come about with Girls Who Brunch Tour becoming an actual tour?
So I started off as a writer, right? So I have 17 books currently. And at the time, I think I was like book 10 or something like that. And I was a featured author at this event, a retreat in Charleston, South Carolina. And one of the dates was the Barnes and Noble's Day. And when I went to Barnes and Noble's, there was a group of girls that came in with an organization from the Gullah Islands. And these girls never seen a Black author, hey, uncle, and they never seen a Black author in a library. They never seen a female Black author in the library. And it was just like so overwhelming that they took my attention, right? So the whole event is going on. I'm servicing these babies, right? So we went to Starbucks because it was long. They're there, and I'm going to buy them something from Starbucks. Who doesn't want Starbucks, right? well, a lot of these girls never had Starbucks. They're looking at the menu. They're like, So I said, I'm going to order them pizza. When we had the pizza get delivered there, these babies didn't even know pizza came in a box. So that was like 2015, 16. And I was like, wow, wait a minute. What do you mean they don't know pizza comes in a box? So the young lady that was over the organization, Miss Kathy, she explained to me that they're from the Gullah Islands. You know, some of them are not exposed to certain things. They don't have access to certain things. So a lot of times things they see are on TV, or if they don't have access to TV, what they hear at school. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this event. I'm going to come back here. So it was supposed to be 2 cities added to my regular tour. It was supposed to be Charleston because of these group of girls, and Vegas because that's where I'm from. I grew up in Vegas. So I was born in Jamaica, but I grew up in Vegas. So I was like, I'm going to add Vegas in here. And I came back to Charleston. I did not have a name. I didn't know what I was going to do. I went back 3 weekends later on a Saturday. Child, God, making no mistakes. I met the superintendent of the school district. Wow. I met the manager of the community center, which was right next to, like across the street from a high school. They gave me everything. I had back in the day, we used to do a pep rally the day before the event and then do the event. Like I got all this. So the first city, what I came up with the blueprint, because my book launches, I have performers, I have food, and I have a panel discussion in regards to what the topic of the book was. So I was like, I'll do this for the kids, but we'll do anonymous questions where the kids are asking the questions. And then we just added workshops because there were kids. And Girls Who Brunch, because everybody was brunching back then. So that's where the name came from. It was no grand.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I was like, oh, that's what drew me to. I'm like, I love brunch. And then come to find out it's all this stuff that's entailed in it. So thank you for even like segueing into the name.
Yes. And that event, child, we got a proclamation, our first proclamation. And it was 250 girls in attendance.
Wow.
Yeah.
And 250 girls at the event. Wow, that is so moving. And you said something that struck me when you said God works in mysterious ways, how everything was just set up and designed for you. When the community center and the school district attended, just all those great things. And it's just like, when you're walking in your purpose, it's just nothing can disrupt you. So I'm so glad that that's how that transpired. And now you're like everywhere.
Child, so after we had that, so I am a blogger in my real life, right? So I'm a writer and blogger in my real life. And so I knew how to market this event. So before we even had pictures and stuff, I'm purchasing pictures of girls having fun, marketing it, things like that. So by the time we finished the first city, I had Baltimore confirmed, like the next weekend. They contacted me, can we come to Baltimore? Can we do Vegas? Of course I have Vegas. Can we do Atlanta? Can we do what was the next city? It was a crazy city too. I was like, you want me to go where? We did Jacksonville. We were doing like all these cities, and I'm like, okay, this is what I need. I need a school. And I really didn't even know what to do. I was like, I need a school and I need speakers, and we need some form of donations of food and things. And I cold call in every city, the group homes. I cold call the facilities that these girls are, and I give them 10 tickets. If they say they need more, they get more. And that's how it grew. So wow. I sponsor those girls, and I just try to prepare for at least 250, and that has been our number. The largest I've ever had was 372, and that was
my gosh, how in the world?
Girl, let me tell you, my Indianapolis committee chair, she came to Vegas, and she was like, and I'm on the stage, she was like, Nicola, what we gonna do, girl? I was like, girl, we good.
I know that's right. I love it, and I love that you stayed positive about it. That's 372.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeez, and counting. That is amazing. And this is why I love to follow you. I just think that you're amazing. Everything from your story. If you could just tell us about what inspired you in your story that propelled you to write and be philanthropic and all those great things.
So I started writing real life. I was in a bad relationship. I'm not even gonna say bad relationship. We were young. And he was just doing dumb stuff. So I was journaling it, right? Like, had a woman hidden in the garage, and I came high speed chases with girls in the car. Like, you know, when you got the ride or die friends that
right
up with you, you know, you got to document it, right? So I was in school for healthcare management, and it was in undergrad. And no, I was about to go to my grad school for healthcare management, but I was in undergrad, about to graduate from my bachelor's, and in business management. And at my party, they dared me. They were talking about it, like, you know, because everybody's been with me in a different situation with him, right? And they're like, you should write a book.
Seriously.
Okay. And I wrote a book. It became a bestseller in 10 months.
Oh my God.
And that's where I started. So as a writer. But as a philanthropist, I'm originally from Jamaica. I moved to Vegas when I was fairly young. I was raped multiple times. Before I turned 16, my choir director and other people that were supposed to protect me, I was raped. And so I always felt like something was wrong with me, right? And this organization called Upward Bound, Dr. Sullivan at UNLV, and I had a baby. So I was raped by my choir director, and I went to my children's father and I asked him to sleep with me because I thought my 14-year-old mind that was gonna make me feel better. And I ended up getting pregnant. And it wasn't until last year that I finally admitted. It wasn't until my daughter came out that I didn't even know, because it was so close. Like, was she their dad's or was she my rapist? And I never like said that out loud until last year. So when she came out, I was like, okay, thank God. But it was just a lot. And Dr. Sullivan believed in me. He made sure I was part of Upward Bound. He made sure, like, they used to have to move into the dorms in the summer. Even though I couldn't move in, I still participated in everything that they did. He took me on the college tours. He was like, you're going to succeed. And I believe he had me part of AXO Youth Olympics with the NAACP. He made sure that I was challenged mentally, but also, like, you're going to succeed. So I believe that tenacity that he put in me and forced me is what allowed me to be who I am today. And so I think that with Girls Who Brunch, these girls in these situations, there's so much more. And at that time, I thought what I went through was pretty traumatic. But learning and meeting these other girls, I'm learning, like, damn, I have not experienced anything compared to what these babies are going through right now. But I do see the difference in them, especially the ones who's been with me since the beginning till now, that just believing in them, having a door, a window. Child, these kids DM me on Instagram all day, every day, on Sundays. And now the video thing come up, I have my hair tied up. I'm like, yes, ma'am. But they have access to you. It's like that you see the transition in them.
Right.
And we have now started going into jail facilities, and 5 of my babies are out. And even that, helping them get out, learning the why. There's girls in here that are certified as adults from between the ages of 11 and 17.
Wow.
So what got them there? And that is what my focus is. Like, if we get them then and help break those generational curses, then they can grow into more successful women. Because if you really look at it, there's so many women, don't matter what nationality, have all these issues pent up inside of them because they never faced it. They never got over it. They never had anybody to tell them that they were beautiful, that they were okay, that their mama was touched too, their auntie was touched too. You know, like, if these girls really knew the vulnerability in the women around them, that it's not just you, it can change them. And I've seen it change them. So that's what is my driving force with Girls Who Brunch.
Oh my gosh. Like, thank you so much for being so transparent. And you said so many key things in your spiel there. First, going back to Dr. Sullivan. Shout out to Dr. Sullivan. Like, everybody needs a Dr. Sullivan. I don't care what your story journey is. We all have setbacks and challenges where you need that extra tug. You need that extra push, and no judgment. he saw something in you. He knew you was smart. He knew you was brilliant. And guess what? Look at you now. And I just want to salute and pay homage to Dr. Sullivan
He's
first and
still
foremost.
alive. He is
First and
still
foremost,
alive.
first and foremost. And then you also said vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so strong about vulnerability because, like you said, you don't know who you can touch, inspire, or guide and pull through by sharing your own shortcomings, because we all have them. So if we normalize being vulnerable and normalize that you're going to mess up and people are going to do weird and harmful things to you, then more people will overcome. So thank you for being vulnerable. It's a courageous thing to do, and a lot of people are scared to do it. So kudos to you. And this is why you've been honored by so many platforms: Forbes, L'Oreal, bestsellers list. Girl, like I admire you so much. And with your first journey and your first accomplishment of being a publisher, like did it intimidate you? Like you knew you had people rooting you on and say, hey, we want to hear your story in a book. But did like, oh, how do I publish this? Where do I start? How did you overcome those things, if they even transpired for you?
Oh, of course it transpired. Of course. It wouldn't be life if it didn't. I'm a perfectionist. And so I wanted to be and when I started, it was like 15 years ago. So self-published was shunned upon. So I start submitting my stories to other people. And when I actually got 2 offers, right? One of my girlfriends, who's still my best friend to this day, Tamika Newhouse, she was like, you know what? Just try to self-publish it. Shout out to Tamika Newhouse. She's the founder of Black Writers Weekend. And she was like, just try to do it yourself the first time. And if it fails, the next book I was already working on book 2. Just do book 2, submit that, but at least try. And I just started watching all these different videos. I started watching not self-published authors. I was looking at what Simon & Schuster was doing. I was looking at what Random House was doing. I was looking at things like that. And I used those techniques into my high tempo, into my world, right? I went on a full tour before I had a book. I had a book cover. Wow. I had a poster size copy like that of my book, and in a plastic like frame so I could move it and put it on the easel. And the first chapter, I would go into a city. I booked myself at every major Black and female book event that there was. I worked at a hospital, so I used my clinic, and I told the doctors that they would pay for a table for marketing, right? Get the table, but then have my stuff on there as well. Wow. And this is how I was going to these different events.
Marketing experience and coming in, she dropping jewelry. Like, I'm taking notes.
Yes, ma'am. I would go into these cities, and then I would go to like the radio stations, and I would get donuts. I would put whatever my book title was on the icing with a stack of cards, and I would give this to the DJs. And so, of course, they're going to talk about on the radio, like, oh, we got this gift, blah, 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 blah. And then I would go into barbershops, beauty salons, beauty supplies. And I would just go in and just tell them who I was. I'm pre-selling my book for $10. So that's including shipping. That's a deal. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm going to get a signed copy, Yeah, for $10, including shipping. I lost money, but I gained it on the back end because I sold so many books. So by the time my book was actually dropped, I hurried up and hit a bestseller list because I was already guerrilla marketing. And see, it's so funny because one of the questions you asked, were there naysayers? Because, everybody wanted you to do it, right? But when you actually start doing it, there's so many people who have the spirit of procrastination, right? And so we all want to do something, but we just don't know how to do it. Right. And then if we're mad at the next person if you do it and then really succeed. Right. Who had that song? Drake got that song. He said that you would be my friend if I failed, but when I'm going, you're not supportive of me. That really happens. Wow. And a lot of people, I can see how Kate Spade and these other people commit suicide because these folks that you think is in your circle, they really sometimes people start dropping off. And as you grow, and they always say everybody's not supposed to go with you in your journey, But when you feel, a lot of times I feel alone, and I'm not the only one that is in my situation that feels like that, because now I still love you. You still my girl. We can hang out on Saturdays, but not every Saturday because now I'm out of town.
Right.
Now I'm taking pictures with Zane. Now I'm taking pictures with Quan. Now Wahia. Now these people are my friends. Now I'm talking to them. Now I'm on the phone with them because they're mentoring me because they see the hustle in me.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're mentoring me. They're teaching me how to go on to the next step. You see me on the corner, even though I am an introvert in real life, but I'm in DC because that's the only way you're going to sell books on the corner. You know what I'm saying? But you're looking at these videos, you're seeing all these people lighted up around me. Now it's that spirit of not necessarily hate, but that spirit of jealousy, because if you're not jealous of me and you don't hate me, you're just mad that you didn't do what you wanted to do.
Right.
So that I went through that, but publishing, I was thrown into it. My very first title that I published that wasn't mine was a girlfriend that was on tour with me that was like, hey, I want you to do my next book. And we did it. She became a bestseller quickly. Wow. She's still my best friend. One of my closest girlfriends, Rakaya Gibson. She has her own publishing company. She's a celebrity chef, food entrepreneur. Like, this lady is doing the most, and she is still my biggest supporter. So, the people that are for you are going to always be for you. Mm-hmm. But when you learn the game and learn what to do, you got to always remember that there's going to be times that your sister, your cousin, your friends that was over here going to brunch with you may not be the same ones going with you to these events. Mm-hmm. Not because you don't want them to come, but just because the energy is different. And you got to protect your peace and your energy.
Wow, you said a mouthful. And once again, thank you for your transparency and the guerrilla hustle. Like, girl, guerrilla marketing, that was true guerrilla marketing. And if anybody's on here trying to inspire to do anything, that's definitely some notes to take, to that you have to get out and you have to get it. And you receive what you attract, what you put out. Mm-hmm. So you really had a true hustle in you. And then just talking about how relationships begin to dissipate. It's okay. It's natural. It's healthy. You're going to shed. And like you said, everybody cannot go, and everybody cannot go specific places. So you definitely have to decipher the two. And it's all about growing and learning. So thank you for sharing that. And how did your experience with emotional intelligence? So that's the core of our program here at Leaders in Pink. How has emotional intelligence shaped you, coming from your relationship when you were young, which wasn't the most feasible for you, coming from your hardship with sexual abuse and molestation? How has emotional intelligence grown and shaped your experiences?
The first step was admitting it, because, I put everything in a box. And I thought not thinking about it, not talking about it was going to be better for me, right? But I've learned, especially through Girls Who Brunch, that's my therapy. Every time I walk out, I'm out, I go into these cities. These girls may not ever know who I was. I'm dressed really pretty. I make sure my makeup is done. I'm dressed and I'm dancing. I'm having a good time with them. And then when they read my bio, they're throwing out all these accolades for Black Enterprise, da-da-da-da-da. And then I tell them my story, right? And when I tell that story, it's not that I'm just bragging about it or whatever. It's because I want them to see who I am for real. But that is my therapy, because especially like, this is for the girls. I have women that come to me, vendors, photographers, with panelists. It's like a crying therapy session, wow. Once it's over, because everybody has a story. And I think it's the first step is admitting it. Like, I told one of my cousins the other day that I have anxiety, right? And I was telling my best friend, like, I broke it down, and people didn't even realize that I have anxiety. Like, when I'm putting on take on a new task, so this is a whole new tour season, how am I going to do it? I'd rather be the worker. You tell me what to do.
Right.
I gotta come up with a plan. So I can't sleep. I be sitting here like, oh my gosh. But it's telling people I have anxiety. Don't tell me to pray about it. Don't tell me that it's going to be okay. No, the first step is acknowledging and then taking the steps to fix it. But if I sit here and keep it bottled up because you don't want to really hear that I have this issue or ashamed or that make me feel bad for it, then you don't need to be in my life. But there's so many women who do not know how to even say they are bipolar, say they have anxiety, say they are depressed. They sit here and bottle it up, and it affects your world. Your kids not getting hugged. Your daughters is feeling some type of way. Like, if we express our problem, the first step is admitting, but then creating a change. that has helped me get to this point. Because if I did not do that, I would not be here. I wouldn't be here. Every time something hard comes, I would stop.
Right.
Every time, girl, I promise you, every time. I just did my first international speaking engagement, right? It went live last weekend. And when they reached out to me, I was like, me? You know, just went all the way up. And then I think I got to do like a TED Talk. They sent me the 4 questions. I was like, that's it? Okay, Lord, I can do this, you know? But if I would have just went off of my anxiety, I would have stopped. No, God got bigger things for me.
Yes.
And it's coming. And so you got to channel that and learn how to control it.
Wow. So yes, and we always say that here at Leaders in Pink, the first step is recognition. Yes, I'm anxious. Yes, I'm in my head. I'm in my own way right now, and acknowledging it, but also actioning. What are you going to do about it? Exactly. Because sometimes it's so easy to say, girl, pray, girl, you'll be all right, especially with the people we grew up around, moms, aunts, older people in our family. Girl, just pray, this and that. No, these days we need action. What do I do? How do I get through? And also you said something key to normalizing it. It is okay. You speak to so many great people, and you will never know that they have dealt or dealing with anxiety. It's a real thing, but also helping people to get through it. Like, oh, you suffer from anxiety too, girl. You done did all this stuff. Okay, that's normal.
Right.
And you make people feel a lot better. So thank you for sharing that. And for our young leaders, you're surrounded by young leaders all the time. You have people that want to be authors. You have people that want to be founders. You have people that want to grace Forbes and be on the best-selling list. When you're in your head trying to gain clarity and figure all this stuff out, what advice do you have to our next generation of leaders?
I tell all my girls that they need to be you, themselves. It's only one you. God created you. Your talent, you're the only one that got the talent that you got. There are so many authors, but the book you wrote, even if it's about relationships, the way you wrote it, you're the only one who can write that book. You're the only one that can create the design that way. You are the only one. So be you, be true to you. And also take on, like, look at all these people with, like, the paparazzi. Shout out to paparazzi. I'm not hating on y'all. The candle people, Amway. Look at these tools that these people have created and invest those tools into yourself. You know, sometimes we believe and follow somebody else's brand and make them millionaires, whatever. Do that and put that tenacity, put that blueprint and everything into you and yourself and your brand. And I promise you, you're going to be okay. But a lot of times our girls, we see these Instagram models, we see these people, even if they see me and everything I do, I include them in it. And like with the L'Oreal stuff, they were part of the Reader's Digest features. They were part of the Forbes features, the Atlanta AJC features. I included my girls. I tell them, y'all gonna be better than me. You see how I work. And you guys are doing this way younger than me. You're going to be way better than me. Just make sure you can take care of me when you get older. You know, when I get older, like, don't keep me in a home. Don't let me be in a home. It's between all y'all. I should be.
Right.
But, you know, like, you got to be real. You got to teach them in a different way. Like, I love documentaries. I'll talk about something, but I'll talk about it in terms that they understand. They're like, what? What happened? I'm like, girl, they were tripping. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, and Queen Charlotte, she was black. And these folks in Charlottesville, that's what, you know, they were like, what? You know, you got to change their mindset. And you got to just meet them where they are. And that's what I believe with everybody. Women, if you got something that you want to do it. Girls, you got something that you want to do it. If you fail, what you going to lose?
Right. That is so powerful and so motivating. And the fact that you are just so forthcoming, and believe it or not, the world is such a small place. My husband, he works for the same management company that Kim is on, Kim Jones. Okay. And I was blessed to have lunch with all of them. And she was like, you know who you need to follow? You need to check out Girls Who Brunch. I'm like, I already follow her. And she's like, she is so amazing. She is so open, always open with knowledge and spreading any information that she knows. And I'm like, wow. And when I reached out to you, you was like, oh yeah, this and this and that. And I'm like, you know what? It's so crazy how, like, the integrity was validated. So I big shout out to Kim. Thank you for the connection. I was already connected, already following you, but it's just amazing how the world is small. And when you're integral in any setting, in any place, people are going to speak about you when you're not even there. So that was huge.
I love her. We are speaking tomorrow. Shout out to the People's Uprising. We are going to be speaking at the Women's Symposium brunch tomorrow. We are being honored. And it's going to be at Junction 1800, I think, in Jonesboro. It's tomorrow, but Kim and I are going to be both speaking tomorrow. And, you know, that's my friend. Like, we met through books, and we just grown. She used to manage a bookstore, but she was phenomenal. Then we got on to, we started doing a podcast together. We've just been growing, and she's the biggest supporter of Girls Who Brunch. When I say that lady in every city, between her and Zane, in every city, bringing me speakers, food, something in every city. They be like, okay, Kim said. And I'm like, and this is before she became the activist. This was Kimberly years ago that has done this, because she's phenomenal. But the thing is, I'm so happy she's able to give her flowers now while she's alive, because she's a beast. She is the bomb.com, and I just love her. And, you know, and it is that support. My sister circle, they're real queens is doing real shit. And when I say everybody is doing, and they cross reference, promote, whatever, that's what we do for each other. And that's how you grow.
And that's going back to those, I always promote healthy relationships. As you try to walk and develop in your purpose, healthy relationship plays a great deal in that, because you can have some people in your circle that think are for you, are conducive towards you, and you want to know why your purpose is not coming into fruition. Yes, it starts within, but it's also those around you as well. So it's amazing that she is in your circle and investing in you. You're pouring in her, and it's just beautiful. I'm so honored to have you on. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy and inspiration. I know I took my notes due diligently. I took my notes on everything that you were saying. So thank you for your wealth of information and knowledge. And I hope that you've inspired those on. I'm sure that you've inspired those on as well. So thank you so much. And I'm definitely going to stay in connection with you.
If you need me for anything, I'm here.
I'm definitely going to be reaching out, and tell everyone and where they can follow you, your social media platforms.
Okay. So the campaign I got going on right now, there was a little girl in Chicago. She was 10 years old. She was trafficked 5 times. And I am on the coalition. We're trying to rehabilitate her back into society, but also we are trying to create change, because this is not just a Chicago issue. This is not just a her issue. This happens all the time, and she's 10. So that project is 324. There's going to be more going on. So follow me at Ms. MZ_Nicola on Instagram. My website is iamnicola.com. And Facebook, everything is Nicola Mitchell. I will be putting out more about that. I have a new book coming out in August. It's called What Was I Supposed to Do? And it's about a girl who was raped by her mother's boyfriend. She ended up in a facility, and she meets me. And I bring Girls Who Brunch to light, but we're bringing awareness to what happens to girls in these facilities. I help get her out, and how COVID, low income, and just generational curses break people. And what else I got going on? And that's it right now. And then stay tuned. Girls Who Brunch Tour will be back in effect in June.
No, thank you so much. So busy all the time. I can't wait till that book drops. I definitely want to purchase it. Wow, definitely crazy how you involved current times, global things that are going on, human trafficking, right? Like you said, it's not just in one specific locality. It is a global issue. So it's nice that you're bringing awareness to that with a real situation. So I can't wait till it drops. I know you'll be promoting, so I'll be on the lookout.
Yes, ma'am. I'm hugging you far away.
No, thank you. Virtual hug, and I'll stay in touch. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure that you follow Girls Who Brunch, Miss Nicola. Hold on. How do I pronounce it again?
It's Nicola.
Miss Nicola, and support her platforms. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend, everyone.
You too, Queen.
Bye. Bye.